Yeah, go live. Yeah. Are we live? Right, we're going live. Afternoon in sunny Brixton, and we're here again with the campaign for decency. We can scan round. Here we go. A few days after our one in there, we got the same literature, and after what we cast really as quite a successful gathering outside Parliament, and managed to engage with a couple of MPs. So we're on the street now at South London, and we're getting very good response. So I'll just go over and have a quick one with Jeff. Jeff, come on over. Mr. Jeff Godwin, and again, we're here a few days after our episode in Parliament.
Successful efforts.
Very successful episode. And in respect to Brixton, what's the response been?
It is very, very good. Today there's a march with another purpose, but they're friends of ours, so we're all kind of on the same field. We had a lot of success there, a lot of success last week. Stephania, who turned up last week, we met in Brixton.
Yep.
But we're going to keep moving around London, finding the best places where we can reach the public, because as we know, John, the only way that organised child abuse is ever going to be stamped out or dealt with properly in the United Kingdom and globally is from people in power and the public actually forcing MPs, forcing police to actually tackle the issue.
Yeah, well, this is it. So we're going to be starting a national letter writing campaign in which every one of the 620 MPs in the UK will be personally written to their parliamentary or their constituent office, asking them what they're prepared to do to address this problem of deliberate cover-up of child abuse and child prostitution. And there have been one or two MPs that have stood up against this. Unfortunately, like any one of us, we get absolutely hammered. This attack comes. We now know that it comes from government agencies, and it does come from the military intelligence agencies, and that is not a conspiracy theory at all.
Martin suffered it, I've suffered it, John suffered it. Anybody who goes after this, who tries to tackle this problem, is hit mercilessly because they want to destroy it at point of inception.
And what might feel happened to him, his attack didn't just come from the MI5, their agents, it also come from the House of Lords. So you've got to ask yourself questions, why would anyone want to subdue this information? And what we're going to find is that there have been people deliberately put in positions of extreme power which have had very nefarious and checkered pasts, that have been involved in the most horrific abuse, and there has been alluded to the murder of children, and they've been allowed to continue with impunity, and there has been a strong bribery element behind that. So there is this complicit nature within these monitoring agencies like MI5 to allow this to go on. So these people really, in effect, are puppets. Now, they can do what they want, but when they do it and hurt our children, then we should all be disgusted and concerned, and we should be, like the population of Belgium, taken to the streets after the Marc Dutroux case and demanding that exposure occurs and that this abhorrence stops straight away. Yet the British public in general aren't really bothered. So, what do we do?
Well, I personally believe that the issue of child abuse comes under the aegis of national security. We believe that it poses such a systemic risk to the United Kingdom if it were ever revealed that MI5 have been tasked dispassionately and objectively to tackle and to remove anybody who seeks to uncover this crime, because it is a systemic risk. They believe the country could fall if the public were made aware of the extent of this crime. Now we're saying let justice be done though the heavens fall. And again, what we're calling for is IBETICA, which is an independent body established to investigate child abuse, I'd love people like yourself, John, people like Mike Ville, because I think his days are numbered in the force, to be retired officers, to be part of this organisation and actually tackle this crime. And as you say, the public, it's a bizarre acquiescence, and you curse yourselves. And it seems to be okay if it's kids from poor backgrounds, and it's the dirty secret in the United Kingdom that everybody wants to turn away from, because there's a shame in this country, because we know it's going on, but people don't want to deal with it. But you've got to wake up, because sooner or later it's going to be your kids.
Well, that's right. I mean, to quote the words of a song, if we tolerate this, then our children will be next. And this is what is occurring. And what we're doing is we're unifying people. This knows no boundaries. This knows no social or economic structure. This knows no religion. This knows no colour. Paedophilia is across the board. It has been proved that they have preyed on the lower and the working classes within the large children's institutions, and we've seen that. Also, there needs to be a law brought in that anyone who knows of crimes against children has a legal right to report it, right? And that especially goes for the police forces. There should be no way that this is allowed to cover up. And when we look, there's a lot of concentration on the Muslim grooming gangs. I'm not denying that. It's a massive problem that needs addressing. 80% of child abuse occurs within the home. The majority of the perpetrators are the parents. When it talk about pimping kids out, the majority of people from the 80% are the parents themselves that are pimping these children out. Let's get that into context, right? Then we look at the mental health problems that follow abuse. We look at the church that is denying that their vicars, their spiritual leaders are having any role in this. Again, that needs to be addressed. I'm calling out to the church. You need to speak out. You need to come aboard. You need to be assisting us.
Absolutely. Where are you? Where is the church? Where are God's people?
I have approached Cardinal Vincent Nichols of the Catholic Church, who turned around to me and said, this is nothing to do with me. Yet he was very vocal in coming out in assistance of Kate and Jerry McCann. Yet he won't help anyone else. One child he was prepared to help from a very well-off middle-class family. What about the millions that have come from the lower and the working classes? Absolute silence, So this is what we're looking for, a law to be brought out. And also, if, a married couple, if, for instance, that the wife knows that her husband is involved, she has a legal duty to speak out. And what we've got to understand is a husband and wife cannot enter into a conspiracy, so there'll be no legal risk to her. And this is what we need: proper policing units dedicated to address this. Instead of what they are doing and what they've done for many years, they've deliberately financially suppressed policing units that look into child abuse. They've deliberately overworked their staff, and they've given them no therapy or counselling when they've been subjected to the horrors that they deal with. There is a unbelievable reluctance to deal with it.
Yeah, and again, as I said, we believe it comes under the aegis of national security because organised paedophile rings pose a systemic risk to this country. And you look what happened to Jill Dando. Now that was MI5 in action. She handed that file to the BBC and to the police in 1999, and then I think 3 to 4, 5 months later, she's shot in the head. And we're expected to believe it was done by a guy with learning difficulties. Look at Jimmy Savile. How did that go? A guy in a gold tracksuit with white hair, abusing children on an industrial level, being reported month after month, and nothing happens. It's because we have a complicit state, and it isn't just corruption. It's just, I believe, a decision was made at the highest level that we either uncover this and risk the fall of the nation, or we deal with. And MI5 are the people who are, I believe, predominantly silencing whistleblowers, destroying people's lives, and it is an obscenity that taxpayer money is going to an organisation to destroy people who uncover paedophilia. Unbelievable corruption.
If we harm our children, then we harm the juvenile, we harm the adult, and we harm the elderly. And then the resonance of that will go on for another 3 generations. This is an upside down pyramid of crime. We have to stop it. And if people want to help, don't leave it up to me. Write to your MP in support of myself, in support of Jeff.
I better cut. An independent body. We want it now. Everybody to get behind it. We've got the skill and experience of people like Jon Wedger. people like Mike Phil. We believe there's a will in Parliament to deal with this, but these guys are scared for a multitude of reasons. John knows better than anybody. These guys, I mean, all MPs aren't corrupt, all police aren't corrupt, but whenever a good officer goes after these gangs, whenever a good MP goes after these gangs, they're hurt, and their lives are destroyed, their careers. It's career suicide to tackle organised paedophilia in the United Kingdom, and we've got to compromise media, and the media has to be held to account. They've got to stop demonising Bob Quick, Jon Wedger, Mike Phil, good officers and good MPs.
Anyway, so please get behind us. If you want to help, then do something can help. Going out in the streets of Brixton.